Hey guys, our target this week is I can use Wonder to transform pieces of colored paper into works of art and explain which colors are warm and which colors are cold. Step one, you're going to plan. You're going to create 6 colored squares. You're going to make a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one, the primary colors, as well as a green and an orange and a purple, the secondary colors. That's 6. Then you're going to rip and cut those colored squares to create a flower composition or collage. Then you're going to reflect and you're going to explain which colors are warm or hot and which colors are cold or cool. Hi, Kaylin. We're still talking about color this week, okay? So we talked about the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, okay? We're going to sing that song really quick. It goes, red, yellow, blue, I see you, red, yellow, blue. They are the primary colors. They make all the other colors, red, yellow, blue, okay? And we also talked about the secondary colors. It goes, secondary colors, green, purple, orange, they're made by mixing the primaries. So today we're talking about a whole new group of colors, okay? We are now talking about the warm and cold colors or the hot and cold colors, okay? So usually the hot colors we think about things like anger or the sun or things that are really bright or really intense, okay? And so our hot colors are, we go red, yellow, orange, and then you go tss, like you're gonna burn your fingers. Like, ouch, it hurts. Red, yellow, orange, tss, okay? And so we think of things like the sun, a hot plate, and lava is also hot. Things like that. Sometimes people draw like somebody's face really red when they get really angry. All right, so those are the hot colors. And then the cool colors we think of as more like calm or sad sometimes. And so those are going to be a little different. I was trying to get more space, but I don't have it. So what you're going to do is pretend you are a little penguin, right? So you're going to stand up and you're going to say blue, like one penguin wing, green, and then you're going to go purple, like you're super, super cold. So it's blue, green, and purple. So I think of purple popsicles are cold. I think of green grass in the morning when I walk out and there's dew. And I also think about diving into a cold pool or a cold lake as that blue. All right, so today we are going to be reading a perfect square. And then we are going to be making works of art based on that story using the hot and cold colors, okay? Materials that you will need today. Something to color or paint with. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, oil pastels, paint, you name it. Or if you don't have those things, you're going to find scraps of paper with those colors. Make sure you check in with mom and dad before you go ahead and start ripping into books. It should probably be something from a magazine or a newspaper or something that comes in the mail or in the recycling box. Other things you need: scissors, glue if you have it. I didn't use glue on mine today. And a white paper. And something square to trace. Now, if you don't have anything square in your house, that's okay. Just draw a square. And you're going to draw 6 of them. All right, so then we move on to the next one. A perfect square.
Perfect Square, written and illustrated by Michael Hall. Read to you by Miss St. Germain. It was a perfect square. It had 4 matching corners and 4 equal sides. And it was perfectly happy. But on Monday, the square was cut into pieces and poked full of holes. It wasn't perfectly square anymore. So it made itself into a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped. On Tuesday, the square was torn into scraps. So it made itself into a garden. On Wednesday, the square was shredded in strips. So it made itself into a park. On Thursday, the square was shattered. so it made itself into a bridge. On Friday, the square was snipped into ribbons, so it made itself into a river. On Saturday, the square was crumpled and ripped and wrinkled, so it made itself into a mountain. On Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and waited. Nothing happened. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped. So it made itself into a window that looked out on a mountain, that gave birth to a river, that was crossed by a bridge, that led to a park, that was home to a garden, that had at its center a fountain, that babbled and giggled and clapped. I hope you enjoyed this story.
So we are going to be talking about the hot colors and cold colors. So our hot colors are on this side, or our warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. And on this side, green, blue, and purple. Okay, there are cool colors or cold colors. All right, so your flowers will be made out of the warm color. So your center of your flower should be one warm color, and the petals, or the things that stick off that center, should be another warm color. And you're going to use those cool colors to make the stem and the grass and maybe some clouds. So we are going to be tearing the paper. We are going to be, if you have glue, gluing the paper, okay? Is that a hot color? No. But in this one, we have the hot colors on the flowers. And we are going to be using the hot colors and the cold colors. We're going to be remembering that our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, right? Red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue. I see you. Red, yellow, blue. You are the primary colors. You make all the other colors. Red, yellow, blue. Red, yellow, blue. And we talked about the secondary colors. Secondary colors, secondary colors. Green, purple, orange. Green, purple, orange. They're made by mixing the primaries, the primaries. So we've talked about those colors, right? And we're going to continue on talking about color. We are now going to be talking about the hot colors and the cold colors. Took a shape, and it could be a square, it could be a rectangle, and I traced it 6 times. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't need to stay in the shapes that you drew. And now I'm going to cut out these shapes because I need to start with 6 squares. And I'm going to be making my artwork with these today. Now, I don't have to make them perfect. I just need to have them separate. Purple. So if I were to lay them out, my first job would be, okay, let's do cold colors. So, right? Green, blue, and purple. Like it's really cold. Okay, those are my cold colors. I'm going to set them aside. My hot colors, yellow, orange, and red. And those are my hot colors. Like your fingers are burning off. So we're going to use just a blank piece of paper today. And I'm going to use my hot colors to make my flower. And I can cut or I can rip. So for the centers of my flowers, I think I'm going to rip. And if you wanted to use crayons, you could. If you wanted to paint these, you could. If you choose to paint, it just takes a little bit longer because you have to wait for things to dry. So I'm just ripping the centers of my flowers. And I want the centers of my flowers to be red. So I'm going to make 3 to start. I'm going to do this assignment right now without using glue. But you can definitely use glue if you have access to it. So I'm going to just put my pieces on, going around the outside of my flower. Laying it on. So far I have my hot colored flowers. Then, just if you are choosing to not glue, just know that they will move if you touch them. So don't work in a place where you have small siblings or where there is a fan. So I have my hot flowers to start. It kind of looks like 3 suns. Our next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add your stem or your petals. Your stem or your leaves. And I'm going to cut off my extra white so I can have a stem. So I'm adding my stem on. There's one stem. Here's another stem. Now, since they're not going all the way to the ground, I can add a second one on if I want to make it longer. Or I can add some grass down below. So I have my 3 flowers. I might add some, might tear some grass like this to add below it. No thanks. Please wait, Max.
Why?
I'm doing a video right now. So I could add it on like this. If I want them to all touch, I gotta change this flower to there. And I could cover it up. I am making flowers. So I'm going ahead and I am laying these on. If yours don't stick or lay the way you want them to, you can roll them the opposite direction and it'll help bend it the other way. So I right now have my petals, I have my stems, but I still have some other colors. You don't have to use these other colors if you don't want. As long as you have hot colors and cold colors on there, you're good. I may go ahead and add in some sun, rip a piece of yellow out to make my sun way up here. I also might go ahead and add in some clouds. Guys, your requirement is to make flowers using the hot and the cold colors. So your picture does not need to look like my picture. There's one cloud. Maybe I add another cloud so it doesn't look like a funny thing sitting in the sky. I don't know. I kind of don't like my clouds, so I might take those off. And I don't really love my sun either. If I wanted to, I could also add more, some yellow flowers in there, but I don't need to. So my picture today, guys, is using the cold colors and the hot colors. So make sure you are telling me that in the video that you make of yourself or the recording you make, that you use the hot and the cold colors and point them out. So the hot colors again, red, yellow, and orange. So hot. And your cold colors, blue, green, and purple. Brrr.